I don't want to kill the half the population suddenly. In fact, I just want to surrender now. Thanks Charles. The end. Remember this kid. This is him now. Feel old yet? What's Superman gonna do when he blinks and there's 20 pounds of kryptonite up his ass? The fact he really thought Loki had turned into a piece of paper. Loki. Alright, let me ask you this one time. What master do you serve? What master do I serve? What am I supposed to say? Jesus. You ever just think about how this is how these two idiots met? When you also remember the line right here. Back pain. The school nurse when the ice pack doesn't cure my frostbite. Impossible. Teacher, what do electrons, neutrons, and protons make? Me. Atoms. When your dad pulls out the whip. My friend when his girlfriend makes fun of his pee-pee. He'll grow. When someone with white shoes steps on your white shoes, I use the shoes to destroy the shoes. When the teacher asks where your homework is, gone. Reduced to atoms. Gonna tell my kids this was World War III. Squad was stacked for no reason. I fear no man, but that thing. It scares me. When you just want to make a point, but she's really good at deflecting. What if Tony made a robot to help him snap? When your mom sends you to the store, but wants the change back, what did it cost? Everything. Dad starts an argument. Me makes valid points. Dad, I'm your financial support. What did it cost? $17,000. Mom, what are you doing in my closet? 8 years old me. I found my Christmas presents. What did it cost? Santa. Sir, those cards weren't on Agent Coulson. They were in his locker. I know. They need to push. So, you broke into his locker, stole his cards, and rubbed them in his blood. 6-year-old me seeing someone shorter than me, but 1 grade above me. Impossible. Back to the Future. You don't know what you're doing. And you do. She's not in your head. I know you're angry. Oh, we are way past that. I could choke the life out of you and never change a shade. Nobody. Hulk in Endgame. When you're replaying a game for the 6th time and the game's giving you starting tutorials. Yeah, I know. Disney. How much for Spider-Man? Sony. Not for sale. Disney. How much for the company? Why do you have the Infinity Gauntlet? It's a prop for my sales meeting next month. What did it cost? $37. So close. Everyone. Quarantine is going to be so boring. I have nothing to do. Gamers. It's like I was made for this. Avengers 1 when Natasha talks to Bruce about the Tesseract. What does Fury want me to do? Swallow it. 14 movies later, which was a prequel. Did Bruce really know this, or was it just a coincidence? Foreshadowing taken to the next level. Remember back in 2004, when Dora had 5 of the Infinity Stones. She was almost Dora the World Destroyer. Mom missed call. 17. Now that is an Avengers level threat. When you beat your meat, and so you have to say bye to millions of cells. Be thankful your meaningless lives are contributed to. Thanos exists. Ant-Man. I'm about to end this man's hole. Sony says the X button is actually called cross. Me. Reality can be whatever I want. When frontbencher says you should listen to lecture. Backbenchers. We don't do that here. Will you press the button? You can use the force. But every time you enter a room, Darth Vader's theme plays all the way through. I see this as an absolute win. 5 years old me. Straw at the back of the Capri Sun. Watching Treasure Planet as a kid and dreaming of owning my own flying surfboard because it's the 21st century and all science fiction says it ought to exist by now. Reality is often disappointing. Water bottle label. Warning. Cap is a choking hazard. My brain. When you join both the pieces in time before the metal cools down. I'm Sprout. When you work at the cinema, so you can't watch Endgame, even though you are literally steps away. I guide others to a treasure that I cannot possess. Women finding out their man needs Viagra to stay hard. Everything special about you came out of a bottle. Peter, technically, it's your fault I'm here. Tony. I saw 14,605 futures. Didn't man go into Thanos' butt? No. No. Man runs marathon in apartment. They called me a madman. Thanos' early concepts. Rare footage of Steve making a crafting table. Me before Infinity War. Oh my god, I hope Cap doesn't die. Me after Infinity War. Oh no. This is much worse. Red Skull. To access the Soul Stone you need to sacrifice someone you love. Thanos looks at Gamora. My heart. Seeing Wanda turn to dust. Seeing Doctor Strange turning into dust. Seeing Peter turning into dust. When your hair dye turns you into She-Hulk. Steve and Tony meeting for the first time in Avengers 4 like wow, half the universe's population, but not your ass, shaking my head. Wow, Thanos. Wow. We are the fallen, but we are not forgotten. We are the not fallen forgotten. Peter, there can't be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man without a neighborhood. Me, there can't be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man without the actual Spider-Man Peter. I'm bringing this photo to the police and my therapist, I hope it was worth it. Marvel. Peter Quill, Thor, is not that good looking. Peter Parker. The Star-Spangled Man with a plan. Way past asking for permission. Wanda and Vision are getting ducked up. Steve, knowing this but still waiting for the perfect moment to get out of the shadows. Everyone in the theater waiting for the post-credits scenes like when Spider-Man comes back to the MCU. Marvel fans, I knew it. Thanos in Infinity War. From yes sir, I'll bring her home by 7 PM to your daughter, calls me daddy too. Thor when Thanos snapped his finger, even after he stabbed him in the chest with Stormbreaker. Be like Doctor Strange, he saw the end of Infinity War 14 million times and he never said a spoiler. Tony, go home. Peter, okay. Peter, seconds later, completely ignores orders. Tony, disappointed but not surprised. Giant Peter Dinklage, Thor no you'll die. Thor, yeah but only if I die. Giant Peter Dinklage. Look at Tony's ducking face. That is the face of a man who has been putting up with Star-Lord's shit for a total of 5 minutes and is already so ducking done. An accurate photo of me watching Infinity War. Shape-shifting, cloning, telekinesis, creating illusions, presence concealment, conjuring ice, frostbite, superhuman strength and agility, traveling through dimension rifts, genius level intellect etc. Stabbing people. Thor burying his axe in Thanos' chest. You should've gone for the head. If you didn't love me at my, then you don't deserve me at my. Aunt May called 5 different police stations when Peter momentarily disappeared in Spider-Man Homecoming. Imagine what she went through in Infinity War. Why didn't you just use the reality stone to change the reality so that you have all the stones? Cause we didn't think of it? Hulk, we need you. Avengers fighting aliens. Clint while in house arrest. Marvel fandom. You'll pay for this. Russo brothers. No, I got paid for this. The ending of Infinity War. I'm a count to 3, and that shit better be deleted. Skip school to fight Thanos. Become an Avenger. Get turned into ash. Get turned into ash. Who would win? Earth's mightiest heroes, teaming up with the Guardians of the Galaxy and many others. A small rock collection. Me showing up at the theater for Infinity War. Me. 5 minutes into the movie. So what's the plot of Infinity War? Pain. That's it. Bruce Banner in Avengers 2012. Can't even say the Hulk in fear of losing control. Bruce Banner in Infinity War 2018. Oh screw you, you big green asshole. You know what this is? Growth. One of the most heart-wrenching moments of Infinity War was Tony Stark going from "That's my boy" to "That's my boy." Guardians of the Galaxy. Thor. Star-Lord. Like Scoob, I don't feel so good. Record scratch. Freeze frame. Peter Parker. Yup, that's me. You're probably wondering how I'm going to get myself out of this situation. This looks like a comedy where suburban dads form a street gang. Thanos, I don't have what you need. Trust me. One during Infinity War. Summary of Avengers Infinity War. Let me just say, from the bottom of my heart, my bad. Types of headaches. Migraine. Hypertension. Stress. Not feeling so good. When you're too poor, but you still want to take over the universe. You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me. Wakanda will no longer watch from the shadows. I've made a huge mistake. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, 2020. People going into Infinity War versus people coming out. Who's your favorite character from Infinity War? Upgrade. 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 Duck go back. After all this time, Jack. Black hair. Green suit. Horny helmet. I'm starting to think Thor was the adopted one. There's 6 kids and 3 chairs. What do you do? Build 3 chairs. Kill half the kids. Use overtime for yeet. Me at Thanos. Your dream stinks. A group of students playing hide and seek in the Harris Fine Arts Center at 11 PM caused a faculty member to call the university police. The police arrived, but were not able to find any of the students. The kids. You can't overpower me. I know I can't, but she can.